Breaking news this Saturday, an historic Rochester church in ashes this Christmas. A massive fire destroying the building that's been there for more than 150 years.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad situation. We were here today. We just had worship today.
A very sad end to the holiday for parishioners of the Jefferson Avenue SDA Church. Good evening, I'm Dan Schrack. One of the main concerns tonight is collapse. We're going to take you back out live to the scene. Several fire companies remain on the job at this hour, still working to make sure there are no hot spots remaining. Now, we're told this fire started right around 6 o'clock tonight. When the first crews arrived, they were able to do a quick sweep of the building, making sure no one was inside. However, those flames spread fast, forcing those firefighters outside to fight from the exterior. It took hours for them to get it under control, and we're told at least one crew will remain on the scene overnight, making sure no embers reignite.
It's really unimaginable what's happening right now. We are all hurting, but we serve a God who knows all things, and nothing takes God by surprise. He knew about this day, knew that this would have happened, and we just have to trust him to get us through this most difficult period.
One of the main concerns is the collapse zone. So basically, as you see, there's a lot of damage. We have concerns that some of the walls and the steeple may collapse. So when the fire started to progress, we actually kind of stepped back a little bit and they were called a collapse zone due to the safety of the firefighters.
Pretty incredible images. Back again live, and crews still on the scene of that fire at the Jefferson Avenue SDA Church. Such a sad end. The good news here, to the best of our knowledge, no one was hurt. We will continue to follow this story for you on air and online at 13wham.com.
We continue our coverage this morning of a fire on Jefferson Avenue in Rochester on Christmas that destroyed an historic church. That church is the Seventh-day Adventist church. Fire investigators still looking into the cause of the 4-alarm fire. Church members relying on each other now at a difficult time. And one of those church members is their communications director, Angela Tucker-Hill, who joins us this morning on Zoom. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Alexis.
It's so good to be with you, but under these circumstances, I apologize that it's under these circumstances. And, I'm so sorry that you guys are going through this.
Yeah, it's been a challenging 36 hours, to say the very least. A historic building, a staple in the community of Rochester, now in ruins. However, we remain faithful that we will restore it, and we will restore it to better.
Yeah.
We know that everything happens for a reason. While we're grappling with why or what the reason is for this, we still have faith in God that he will restore, and he will restore us to even better than what we were before.
Yeah, this is a building, a church with deep roots in the community. For those who are not familiar, how historic is this building, this church?
This church has a long-standing history. It's been there for 185 years. We have been active for, over my 50 plus years of being in the church. I know that we've done many things. We hold Vacation Bible School every year. Our community service center hosts a number of different activities in which the community has come to each and every year, whether it's our back to school giveaway, our Thanksgiving giveaway, where we offer food baskets for families who are in need, those who just come in. We have a pantry that's there every Tuesday and Thursday where we give out food as well as gently used clothing and shoes. And we have provided a place of worship for many. It's been many things to many people, and we know that it's going to be a hole in the community for now.
Yeah.
But we ask our community to continue to keep us in prayer and continue to watch us online. Our worship services, although the building has been destroyed, our worship will continue. So we want to encourage folks who have come to know and love Jefferson, who've worshiped with us in the past, to continue to do so. We are worshiping online virtually on our Zoom platform. as well as on YouTube and on Facebook. So we encourage folks to log on to our webpage, jeffersonsda.org, as well as on our Zoom platform, which we will share that information, which is 309-309-2020-023675. And we will continue to have our services as usual. 8 a.m. we have early morning prayer, where again, many have come in seeking prayer, seeking guidance, personal as well as spiritual growth. So we want to let the community know that we are still continuing to have those worship services. Yeah. And while the building is destroyed, the church remains. We are still here committed to providing a feeling of hope and wholeness for our community. We are here for you, and we thank you for the support that has been rendered so far. So we'll share that information. So again, if you can post it on the website where folks can continue to worship with us, we would greatly appreciate that.
We'll share that on 13wham.com. Absolutely.
I appreciate it so much. And if I just want to say thank you to you all for keeping the message in front of the community, and to the firefighters who fought the battle of the fire. It was a remarkable sight to see the grit and the hard work and determination. Our prayers are with the firefighter who was injured during that time.
Yeah, it's good to see that the church is standing strong and moving forward. You touched on the history and so many things that you guys have done as a church for the community, a beacon of light and hope for the community. You've come to the aid of so many, and now people are coming to your aid. Describe the ways that the community has been there for you during this time.
The support has been nothing short of amazing. We had a prayer vigil on yesterday at 1 p.m. and we had so many people come out. Rochester clergy, community leaders, we had public officials. Our parent organization, the Northeastern Conference from New York City, came down, and they offered so many words of support and encouragement and love. We've had financial contributions, and we've had many churches offer their buildings to us so that we can have a place of worship until we are able to rebuild and restore our own sanctuary. So my heart felt thanks and appreciation, as well as that of our pastor, Pastor Hanson Drisdale, and our congregation is extended to all of our faith-based communities who've again reached out in phenomenal and monumental ways, offering their building to us, some at no cost. And, we are just thankful that we have options and for the support that is being offered to us. The community has given us nothing but love. We feel the love, and we ask that you continue to keep us in prayer, keep us in the, on your minds. And when you're on your knees praying, just continue to lift Jefferson in your prayers. We'll need it in the days, weeks, and months ahead. So just continue to keep us lifted in your thoughts and prayers as we rebuild, and we're going to rebuild, and we will be stronger. Our goal is to continue to be a staple in the community. And, we are just thankful for the support that is being rendered to us at this time.
Yeah. At last check, I know we reported that you all were waiting for the assessor's report of the building's interior before making any decision. Have there been any updates overnight about what's next?
Unfortunately, we still are in the waiting phase of identifying specifically what has happened. At this point, we do know that there has been significant structural damage, and going into the building we've been asked not to do so. The investigation we anticipate should be complete within the next few days. But at this point, it does appear that we will need to remodel completely. With all of the fire and all of the water damage that has taken place, it's just unsafe for us to go into the building at this time. So while we await the final word of the investigation, we at this point will not go into the building until further notice. I do want to also point out many folks, as I mentioned, with our community service center, while the grounds are still under surveillance and under review, so to speak, our community service center will remain closed. We will send a notification when it will reopen, just again for the safety of our members as well as the safety of the community. We want to ensure that everything is up to par before we open any of the surrounding facilities associated with our church.
Sure, and we do have all that information for people who want to contribute on 13wham.com. Our thoughts are with you and the congregation. Angela Tucker Hill with the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Thank you for your time this morning.
A community of faith remains strong after a massive fire destroyed this historic church on Christmas night. Good evening, I'm Dan Schrack. The cause of that 4-alarm fire is now under investigation, but faith leaders are not shaken, confident there is a way to move forward. Today they held a vigil in front of the church, praying for guidance. And that's where we find 13 Wham's Natalie Kutchko tonight. Natalie.
Well, Dan, the pastor said earlier today the support from the community, even strangers, has simply been overwhelming the last 24 hours. And despite this tragedy, they are focused on a common goal of hoping to rebuild.
Let's bow our heads. I'm going to have a word of prayer.
Coming together in prayer after tragedy. Leaders from the Jefferson Avenue Seventh-day Adventist Church and beyond gathered Sunday in front of the church's remains.
You have seen the tragic loss of our building. And we are here this afternoon to pray, to ask God's guidance, to thank Him for protection, and to chart the way forward.
Crews were called to the fire just before 6 o'clock Christmas night and spent several hours attempting to contain the flames, which ultimately prompted 4 alarms. Reports indicate the fire started in the back of the building. No one was inside at the time, though the church held Christmas services just hours prior. The lead pastor reflects on the decades of memories the building held.
Some persons got dedicated in this temple. They met their spouses. They were baptized. They had family members who were funeralized here. And so it holds a lot of precious memories. And so just looking at it, tears me up.
Adventist leaders out of New York City also traveled to Rochester to offer their support.
It really rocked us. We were shocked by it. We are pulling with them. We are right here not only to pray with them, but to be a part of the solution to this problem.
Pastors from other area churches encouraged members to rely on their faith during this tragedy and encouraged a step forward.
I believe that your faith, your trust in God, and the history of this church here on Jefferson Avenue for many decades is a testimony that when it is rebuilt, when it is, come on somebody. When it is rebuilt and they're able to inhabit it again.
But I'm confident that God is with us through this and that He has something much better and that the end will be much better than what we are seeing now.
And as for the church's future plans, the pastor says the staff is waiting for an assessor's report on the status of the interior of the building before they proceed with any decisions. A GoFundMe account has also been set up for that hopeful rebuild for the church. You can find a link on our website, 13wham.com.